Live from the Washington, D.C. area, it's the Inside Scoop, Emerald Planet. All the ecology news that our viewers want to know. Now, here's your host, Executive Director of the Emerald Planet, Dr. Sam Lee Hancock.
Hello, welcome to the Emerald Planet as we come to you from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we look around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for the 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the services, and the products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And as we go to a planet with 9 billion people, one of the things we have to look at is how we're going to provide transportation for everyone to make sure that they get to work, school, and all the other transportation needs of life. And also how we're going to provide at the same time the energy, the water, the food, all the basic infrastructure that's needed so that these 9 billion people will have an increased standard of living, quality of life than what's even here today. And we have two gentlemen, actually 3 gentlemen, since I have one sitting beside me in the studio. They're coming on and going to be talking about the solar energy and how they can actually provide lighting, general electrical needs, and also water purification. We have Mel Radford, who is a Chief Engineering Executive, and Scott Draffin. He's a Research and Development Engineer, and the organization is called Genesis Technologies Group, coming out of North Carolina. And sitting right beside me, our special guest is Levine. He is the President, CEO of HybridPedals. And I think we have our gentlemen waiting coming in by Skype. Mel and Scott, how are you?
Doing very, very good. Thank you.
Glad to have you here. And Alan, thank you for being with us here as the special backup. Mel, tell us a little bit about the Genesis Technologies Group.
Well, thank you, Sam, and thank you for allowing us to come on the program today. The Genesis Technologies Group is a group that was founded about 5 years ago. Our parent company is about 67 years old now, Livingston and Haven, and we service the manufacturing industry both in the U.S. and abroad for those 67 years. About 5 years ago, the then president, now CEO of our company, Clifton Van, he had a desire to make our own equipment. He said that we were too beholden on our current vendors and current solutions. So he decided he wanted to assemble the best and brightest. So he looked at each market segment, took the best and brightest engineer of that market segment from our corporation, reached out, got a couple engineers from external as well, and formed our group to make new products.
Well, we need to bring up this slide here. I want people to be able to see this. Is really very clever technology you have. It's quite small, and as it even shows here, lightweight, and it certainly is. Had a chance to see it recently. Scott, how did you become interested in renewable energy? And tell us a little bit about the Firefly, which is what we're going to show here in just a minute, and then the Go Slow Oasis for the water.
Okay. Essentially, when, like Mel was saying, as the group was formed, we were given a blank sheet of paper to design whatever type of product we felt would be good for the company and in the global market. We kind of looked around, and we felt like the energy sector is something that was going to be needed everywhere, not just here in America, but also internationally. So that's how we kind of started down that line and ended up developing products like you see here, the Firefly, which is basically a portable light box, which is solar powered, and then the water filtration kit, which is the Oasis, which will give you the ability to purify your water.
Well, the nice thing about this, Scott, and also Mel, is the fact that it is very lightweight. It's highly portable, and so you can put it just about anywhere. You can almost just throw it up on things if you have an emergency, and I think this is just shows really how small all of this is. Anyway, we're doing very well as far as having you guys stay with us. And Alan, why don't you go ahead and ask the next question?
Mel, who needs the Firefly and Go Slow? Oasis systems, and how do these systems complement each other?
So thank you for that, Alan. Yeah, you know, traveling in Africa, when we decided to get into the renewable energies business and we decided to get into solar, One of the first things we did, we said, we need to go to, in Lean, there's the go to Gemba, so to speak, the go see who the user is and why the user is going to use it. Here in the United States, we really look at solar as a grid supplement. So, the big solar fields and the grid supplement. Well, in traveling in Africa, we went to both Nigeria and we went to Tanzania, and we went out in the bush. We went out and actually looked where people don't have electricity, where they don't have clean water. And we said, these are the people to serve. These are the people that need this. So who needs it? Everybody needs it. You mentioned emergency lighting. So here in the U.S., it's a great product for emergency lighting. It's a great product for sheds and things like that. But for those places where the wires will never reach, those places that will never be serviced by electricity, because it's 20 people in a village, they need light. They need light. So what is rural electrification? Rural electrification is light and it's clean water. That's what they need. To get them electricity, sure, they need electricity, but in basis, what do they need? They need light to keep animals out and to take care of their children and things like that, and for medical. And they need water. They need clean drinking water to drink so that they don't get sick.
Yeah, when I was over in China this year, this is one of the things that came up. We met with a lady that actually started solar power in China 20 years ago. This was her 20th anniversary. And of course, many of the big state industries have gone way beyond, but she's dealing with about 50,000 of the small communities over there. And she went around, did a survey, and the one thing they wanted was street lighting. They said, we've done without hot water most of our whole lives. We've done without electricity in the homes, but we need street lighting. And that, Mel, goes to exactly what you're saying there as far as they need lighting. And so they put the kind of lighting in where the kids can go outside and they can sit and do their schoolwork. And also you can actually charge your flashlights and the cell phones and all those kinds of things. So Scott, why is there such a tremendous need for solar around the globe? And I think Mel was alluding to some of this, but as far as lighting is concerned, general electricity, and then of course clean drinking water.
Yeah, essentially we take for granted here sometimes in the United States some of the basic necessities of life, such as the grid. We always have access to electricity and clean water. Places rurally, like out Africa and different regions, they don't have access to that power, and they don't necessarily, it's not plans in their works to get them that access to that power. This would give them the ability, solar power would give them the ability to put something in and actually run it to those villages and maintain power there. And here, even as the grid becomes dated, which it is, as time progresses, we'll also be looking for alternative energy sources here as well.
Well, and we just recently had on some of the elders within the Native American communities in the West, but many of the tribal areas are what they call nations around the United States have been don't have any electricity and no fresh water and even sanitation, many of these places. So the type of technology that you have, Mel and Scott, really is appropriate for the Native American nations here within the United States. So we need to look at those markets as well. Mel, looking at the Firefly and the solar energy system that you have, how does this really work? And then tie this in with the water system that we're going to be seeing here just in the next minute or two.
Yeah, so Firefly, and I have to have one here. Firefly is unique because it is so small and portable. It's also unique because the American ingenuity and engineering that went into it. So what you're looking at is a box that is roughly $200, $230 or so, and it has lithium-ion technology in it. It has maximum power point tracking technology, microprocessor technology. It has constant power. It's the world's first LED lighting system that has a constant power LED light. And this constant power LED light pulls the same amount of power and has the same luminosity regardless of the battery level. So whether the battery is full or almost empty, the light puts out the same amount of luminosity or the same amount of lumens. You can also charge your cell phone. One thing you mentioned, Sam, was charging cell phones. So And, you know, especially in the developing countries, they've done a great job skipping over the American landlines and having mobile devices, and everybody has a mobile device. So even in the most rural villages now, the rural villagers can now charge their cellular devices from solar as well. So you got maximum power point charging, solar charging, constant current LEDs, maximum solar harvest in a small lightweight package that's easily mounted, zero training required to to implement it. And that just starts the conversation, because then the second thing they have to have is they have to have clean water. So
yeah, let's pull up the hold on just a minute. I want to bring these slides up so we can look at this. This is one of your systems here, and let's just leave the slides up. Go ahead, just tell us a little bit about this, Mel, and we're just going to go through these slides.
Yeah, so that's actually Will Wood, one of our Genesis engineers, and he's actually testing and drinking water out of a polluted stream here in the USA. So we've had several biological issues in the U.S. over the past year, and we took those as opportunities to do a bit of testing. Obviously, the Oasis unit is fully tested and FDA approved. Here you can see this is in Africa. We're actually creating clean water, and it's all done via solar. So you don't have to have electricity. You don't have to have the grid. It has reverse osmosis. It's a reverse osmosis system with carbon for filtering color and taste, and it will take anything up to brackish and actually filter the salt out of it so that you have clean, safe drinking water wherever you are, and it's portable. It's in a suitcase. You can take it with you. You fold out the solar panel and put it into any wastewater stream, and you've got clean water.
Yeah, looking at the scene we have here, tell us the type of equipment, and I guess you can just drop this in anywhere then, as far as pulling the water, Scott?
Yeah, anywhere you want to carry it. That's why it's portable, so you can take it with you wherever you go. You could buy it with that portable solar panel so that it's ready to go. You just deploy the panel, plug it in, and then you've got clean water wherever you're at.
Yeah, and Sam, I do a lot of traveling in Africa, as I said, and we do, as a company, do a lot of traveling in Africa. And we carry Firefly and we carry Oasis with us, and especially Oasis because we have to have clean water. Here, this is actually a picture in Angola. And drinking out of the sewer. So you talk about just drop the hose. Yeah, that's the clear inlet hose that you see going down to the bottom of the screen. You literally just drop that hose. That is actually being dropped. It's dropped in a sewer, and we're drinking water out of the sewer there in Angola.
Don't tell everybody about that, but that's really a miracle. We're going to lose you right now. We've run out of time. Mel Radford, the Chief Engineering Executive, and Scott Draffin was the Research and Development Engineer. Genesis Technology, sitting right beside me, is Alan Levine. And thank you for being with us as we create the Emerald Planet.
There's more than just books at the library.
There's more than just books at the library.
Excuse me.
There's more than just books at the library.
Il y a plus que de livres à la bibliothèque.
Hello. You have a lot of great books here today. You know there's more than just books at the library.
I know.
There's more than just books at the library.
I don't want to be hooked to a machine.
I want all the medical treatment available to me.
I wouldn't want my family to have to make this decision.
My doctor knows what's best for me.
An advance directive is your life on your terms. Talk with your family. Decide what's right for you. Then put it in writing.
Documenting my wishes today means my family won't have to make heart-wrenching decisions later.
To learn more, visit www.putitinwriting.org.
1,200 American youth run away from their homes
I'm Hancock of the Emerald Planet in Washington, D.C., coming to you each week, looking at 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the services, and the products as we look around the globe. And as we add 2 billion new people by 2050, how are we going to be able to provide them not only the basic infrastructure that's needed, the food, the fuel, the fiber, and health care and education, but also transportation? The two gentlemen sitting right beside me are looking at this in a way that you would think of maybe it would be 100 years ago. But actually they've taken something that's been around for a while and made it very new. So this is Alan Levine sitting immediately beside me. He's the president and CEO. And then Albert Nunez, who is the chief solar and technical engineer. And they're both with what's called HybridPedals. And they're going to tell us about that. So Alan, tell us a little bit about what's HybridPedals.
HybridPedals is a company that was formed on the premise that electric bikes are the answer to the future of transportation. They cost 3 cents to go 20 to 30 miles.
Now let's say that again. 3 cents to go.
3 cents of electricity to go 20 or 30 miles.
I see.
They can be solar charged very easily. And they can get you where you need to go very quickly, very efficiently, and very economically.
Yeah. Well, I know in Washington, D.C., this is the city is priding itself with having one of the most extensive networks, and I guess per capita, one of the highest in the United States and even in the world. So that's very important. Al, why are bicycles, and particularly the type of bicycle you're talking about with this, you know, the hybrid electric and pedal too, I guess you have pedals on yours. Why are they gaining so much popularity here and all over the world, actually?
Well, the electric bicycle really is a pleasure to ride on. If you've never had the experience, I strongly urge you come in and check one out, because it takes all the sweat away. It really does. It's just very easy to go up hills, and it's these bicycles are quite easily able to go 20, 30 miles with the hub motors, and if you have the mid motor system, you can go as much as 100 miles per charge.
My goodness.
So it's there. We have also folding type bikes that can be used and taken on the subway, and can also park right in your office. So right in the elevator and right on up.
That's just absolutely incredible. Alan, what are some of the federal and state highway laws as it relates to your type of bicycle, and does that have any impediment, or is it quite open as far as being able to use bicycles wherever you want to go?
Well, that's really the beautiful thing about electric bikes in America. So long as they meet a certain standard, which is 20 miles per hour only with the throttle, a motor not to exceed 750 watts, and functional pedals, it's classified as a bicycle and not a motor vehicle, which means you don't need a registration, you don't need a driver's license, no photo tickets, you can park them just about anywhere, and they're just a pleasure.
It's incredible. Yeah, you were talking, Al, about riding one of these. When I was over in Austria, we were there for 15 days looking at anything electric that's going on over there, cars all the way down to scooters. And I did have a chance a couple different times to ride the electric bikes. And I tell you, they really are fun.
They are.
And when you get on there and you open it wide open, there's a few G's there will put you on the back of the seat. But the core mission, sustainability as far as your bicycle is concerned, I understand you really are kind of the leader of the band for that within the organization.
Well, as you were discussing earlier in the previous section, in lesser developed countries, there's a tremendous opportunity to leapfrog the way the United States did it, and to just go straight to electric bicycles instead of internal combustion engine vehicles. And the beautiful thing about it too is that you can charge these lithium-ion batteries on these bicycles with a relatively small solar-powered system And if you have a trailer off the back side that you pull behind the electric bike, you can turn it into an ambulance. And if you have a canopy that's a solar canopy over the top of the trailer, then you can charge not only the battery for the bicycle, but you can also charge any medical instruments that you can use in the field or helping diagnose patients and so forth.
Mm-hmm. So, looking at these bikes that we have here, Al, going back to the sustainability, how do you build into the frame, the tires, the wheels, even the hub motors you were talking about, so that they have minimum as far as maintenance is concerned, and they're going to last for a long time, so that people are not constantly having to fix and repair? How do you do that?
Well, really, most of the electric bicycle companies that are been in the business for a while have very reliable motors, and the systems are really engineered to be very rugged, and there are improvements that are being made all the time, but it's really a very dependable system. And if you have a mechanic who's experienced with a regular bicycle, most of those mechanics can be trained to work with electric bikes as well.
So when you go into a place like India or Nigeria, places like that, where they have people just literally right beside the road that are maintaining the bikes, so the same kind of thing then could go right into these societies?
That's basically true, yes. And again, the other nice thing too is that you can have charging stations that are solar powered, so you don't have to have an electric grid as we're blessed with here in the industrialized areas.
Alan, what are the benefits of electric bikes over just a regular bicycle, and then even the automobiles?
Well, for a lazy guy like me, just being able to throttle 20 miles an hour and go up any hill I want and not have any hill anxiety, not be concerned.
Well, this is a new syndrome. We got hill anxiety now. I didn't know that we had another one.
Not to be concerned about whether I'm going to actually have enough energy to get somewhere. Being able to glide down a hill and then glide down a hill and throttle up the hill. I like to have fun with people and throttle up a hill and pedal backwards while the bikers to my right are stressing and straining to get up the hill. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I tell you, the bike that I rode in when I was in Austria really was a lot of fun. And actually, we were on this special track for race cars, but they had all the bikes, the scooters, and everything else. So we got to go on the same track, and that was really fun. And really a lot of. How do you charge this? What's the process of that, and is there extra charge, or can you just plug right into the regular electrical outlets in your home, or how does it work?
Yeah, there's a charging unit that's a little smaller than a brick usually, and it's similar to what you'd find with a laptop computer that you plug it into the wall, and if you're in an area where you have grid power, and you just go ahead then and plug it into the battery, either on the bike, or some of the bike styles take the battery off and bring it into the house and then plug it into the charger. And it takes usually anywhere from 2 to 6 hours to charge a fully discharged battery, depending on the size of the battery and the amp hours that it needs to consume in order to be fully charged. But if you're, again, the beautiful thing too with solar power is if you have an emergency situation where you don't have grid power, say a hurricane went through and the power's down for a week or two, then you can have emergency first responders with trailers that are filled with electric bikes that then have solar panels on top of them. And then you can roll out your emergency services and keep moving after a disaster strikes.
So you can do deliveries, and also even if you had a snowstorm, once they get the roads open, you could be using, because usually there's good sunshine after you have a big snowstorm, so that would be enough to actually charge the batteries.
You just need snow tires.
Yeah. Alan, and you're talking about the joy of gliding down the hill and then letting the electrical power take you up. But what should people that are listening to this, both here and abroad, think about when they're wanting to select an electric bicycle?
Ride it before you buy it. I would really caution people about purchasing online. I went into this business to provide people with a place to go to test almost every high-quality brand of electric bike before making a decision. It's a rather large purchase. An educated consumer is our best customer, and we educate them, and we prompt them to go home and do homework after they test drive their bikes. And inevitably, they come back within a week and they buy the bike that they've chosen.
Mm-hmm. So there's no real pressure then to get it right there. Actually, you prefer if they don't, just come up and drive something off.
We even allow people to rent the bike that they're interested in for a day before they actually purchase it, and then we credit that rental to the purchase. Want to be sure to put the right butt in the right seat.
Or on the right seat anyway, right? Al, looking at the bicycle, and how about the parts, spare parts, and we talked about earlier about sustainability and all that. But can people maintain these on their own, or do they need to go to a certified mechanic? How does that work?
Well, again, as I said before, they're a very reliable product, and I guess if there was one caution that I would put out, it would be to be sure to maintain the battery and make sure that you don't run it totally empty and leave it empty.
So you don't want to, in essence, discharge it.
You don't want to totally discharge it and leave it totally discharged for months and months and months. It's best to, if you're going to put it up for several weeks or a month and not use it, to just charge it up and then just let it sit. And usually the batteries will hold their charge very well for 6-8 months. But you don't want it to be put away totally empty.
So if you're, let's say it's a 20 mile before you need to recharge each day, you want to just keep topping it off, in essence.
If you're using it every day, you want to top it off every day, yeah.
Okay, well, we're running out of time. Alan, where do you see your organization being in the next 5, 10, 15 years?
The Wall Street Journal says that we'll sell 100,000 electric bikes in the United States this year. Mm-hmm. They say by the end of the decade it'll be 1 million. I think we're moving right along that pace.
My goodness gracious.
And that's assuming no huge rise in gas prices. That's just the pace of where the industry's going.
That's amazing. Well, anyway, you heard it here. As far as 2 to 3 cents for 20 miles as far as charging the bikes, that's absolutely amazing. But anyway, Alan Levine is sitting right beside me, the president and CEO. Albert's chief solar and technical engineer, HybridPedals, as we create the Emerald Planet.
Osama bin Laden calls getting nuclear weapons a religious duty.
Today, materials that can be used to make nuclear weapons are stored in more than 40 countries.
Sometimes protected by just a chain-link fence.
Yet not enough is being done to lock down these materials
before terrorists steal them.
Why did we learn all this?
My mother.
My son.
My sister-in-law.
Were all murdered September 11th.
Help protect America.
Together we can.
Please join us.
The stem cell issue is being debated throughout the country. Truth is, most everyone has an opinion, even if they don't know the facts.
Let's stop arguing and start really understanding the potential of stem cell research.
For us and for millions of Americans living with disabilities, get the facts.
Call 1-877-842-3442 for free information from the Stem Cell Research Foundation. That's 1-877-842-3442.
Following the tragic events of September 11th, there have been hundreds of violent attacks against innocent Americans.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
Remember, please stop the hate.
We're stronger when we are united.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
One nation under God.
Indivisible.
With liberty
and justice
for all.
In America, there's either room for everyone or it's not America.
Don't pick the wrong fight.
Let's keep America land of the free.
Stop the hate.
Planning a home renovation? Put this at the top of your to-do list. Because after 10 years, none of you are protected against tetanus and another potentially fatal disease, diphtheria. A minor injury, such as a cut or a scrape, can put you at risk for a tetanus infection. And while safety gear offers some protection, an up-to-date vaccination called the TD booster is the best insurance against tetanus. So get the TD booster. If it's been 10, do it again.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello and welcome to the Emerald Planet as we come to you from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we look around the globe in 144 different nations looking for those 1,000 best practices that are making a difference. And as we go to 9 billion souls on the planet, how are we going to be able to provide the opportunity to feed all these people? Because we have a little over 7 billion now. We're adding another 2 billion. And we have a gentleman who's actually been working on this idea of being able to take renewable energy, specifically the sun, and be able to provide low cost, very portable, highly efficient solar cookers. And he's going to be talking about a very special one. It's called the solar balloon cooker. And I'm most excited, Dr. Bengal, CEO of California Sunlight Corporation. Welcome to the Emerald Planet.
Thank you, Sam.
Glad to have you here. And the cooker you have is very interesting. And I want to bring up this first slide here, if we can bring that up, and let's see this. But anyway, tell us a little bit about your organization, this California Sunlight Corp.
Our company developed a small-scale, portable solar energy device. Need to be very, very portable, small-scale, and very, very cost-effective. In the developing countries, they're easy to use.
Yeah, but looking at this, tell us what we're looking at. What is the technology that was in this slide?
This is a Fresnel lens to condense sunlight to a small spot and use a mirror energy into the oven for cooking. You can use the energy for water distilling or use the energy for heat generation or electricity generation.
So you can use this for many different purposes. Now, this is the thing that was of great interest when you and I first met. If we can go back to the solar balloon cooker here, I really like this style. Tell us a little bit about this, and why do you have a backpack in front of it?
Oh, this is a backpack that used to support the balloon. When you go out to hiking, biking, or camping, you put the balloon only like 2 ounces. Put in the pocket. When you need it, blow the balloon up, aim it to the sun, then you can start to cook. Use a backpack to support the balloon.
So with this this balloon cooker that we're looking at right here, Dr. Gal, is so you can actually, you're biking, hiking, you're out camping, whatever it is, but you can actually purify the water through this by using this the solar collector then.
Yeah, actually, you can collect quite some energy. I was cooking like rice and also like a chicken wing when you were visiting Thai, the demo there.
Yeah, I tell you, and looking at this, these are, what's the weight of these?
It's about 2 ounces.
What?
About
2 ounces?
Yeah.
My goodness, that's extremely light. And then it folds up to be how big then?
How big? I will have one here. I wonder if you can see that.
Right.
It's like 2 ounces, and actually I can put it into my pocket right away.
Oh, I see. So you can actually carry it around in your pants pocket if you want, and then pull it out and put it to work.
I put 5 in my pants pocket.
That's absolutely amazing. As you know, I have sitting right beside me Alan Levine, and he's going to ask the next question.
Dr. Gu, we've met before. Why have a balloon a solar balloon cooker.
Yeah, nice to see you again, Alan. The solar cooker has been used for many years. Solar cooker has a collector and a cooking device like cookware, like a pot, black pot. Also has insulation part to keep the heat inside. Our idea is use a mylar balloon, which is very reflective, probably like we have about 96% reflective mylar to collect the energy, and at the same time use the mylar blanket to keep the heat inside the cooking device, like the cook pot. That way, the collection device and the insulation device totally only 2 ounces. You can easily carry it everywhere. More importantly, the mylar device is so low cost. A mylar balloon plus the mylar blanket together, we can make like under $5. That way, we have such a cost-effective cooking device use renewable energy for almost everybody in the world.
Yeah, and you say, let me emphasize this again, you were saying $5 for this entire cooker. How long will this last if people just give it normal care and attention?
This is another advantage of the reflective mylar. Reflective mylar actually very durable. If you put it outside, it can last for many years. And if eventually, if you accidentally cut a hole in the balloon, you can repair the balloon with a tap. So at least like 5 to 10 years for normal, typical use of the mylar, reflective mylar.
That's incredible. Now, I believe you're a for-profit company. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
yes,
many of the organizations involved in the solar cookers are non-profit. So how do you compete, and how do you expand and develop the technology, keep evolving to the next generation, being a for-profit organization?
Yeah. This is a very good question. We are not compete with a non-profit organization. Actually, we are work with a non-profit organization. We are partner with a non-profit organization. What our company do is we provide a very cost-effective tool for a non-profit organization to do their job, make their job much easier and much more efficient and much more cost-effective. That way, we can work together to quickly implement this renewable energy cooking idea to billions of people who is in need.
Well, and this is something that's very important. You answered that absolutely perfectly, because it's all about collaboration. And the work that Alan's doing is the very same thing as far as his electric bicycles, as he cooperates and collaborates with many people. But at-risk individuals, those internally displaced people, about the wars and various conflict zones around the world, how do you actually deliver and make sure that people have access to this very low cost but highly efficient cooking means, instead of having to make charcoal and use fossil fuels?
Yeah. This is another advantage of solar cooking, balloon solar cooking, because it's so lightweight, compact. An airplane actually can deliver 1 million solar balloon cooker at one time. When I was in Thai demo, a general talking about a possibility to deliver tens of thousands of the solar balloon cooker to the top of the mountain, where people on top waiting for the rescue, for the help. But it's difficult to go there because our animals under the mountain try to chase them, to kill them. So if we have an airplane, we can drop like 100,000 balloon cooker to the top of the mountain, so people can use it. So it's very easy to deliver because it's such a lightweight, compact.
And also too, is if you're in an area where there'd be, like say it's ice and snow, then they can actually use this, because usually at those altitudes you have access to a lot of sunshine, so you could actually produce your own water then. Is that correct?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like a location, actually sunlight could be even stronger than under the ground or the valley. So you get more solar energy. When you get more solar energy, actually you can produce more heat, more electricity, or to boil more water.
Now looking at this, can you actually use these units to charge, say, recharge cell phones or flashlights, these types of small appliances?
Yes. Use the solar cooker to concentrate sunlight or even a campfire light to 4 to 5 times or even 10 times more intense. The solar charger will give more power from light. So it will make the charger more feasible.
Now looking at this solar balloon cooker, I mean, this is a very unique design, and you're talking about the efficiency of it and the low cost. What's been the acceptance of the solar balloon cooker, both within the United States, people that want to use it probably more for recreation, but also around the globe in, say, conflict zones, or just developing countries where they do not have access to the grid to provide any kind of efficient and effective cooking opportunities?
Yeah. Locally, right now, people mainly, as you say, use it for recreation, like camping, hiking, or picnic outside. For developing countries, this will be a very effective way to have energy for cooking, heating, boiling the water without a lot of cost and fuel needed.
Dr. Gu, what are some of the ongoing improvements being incorporated into the current model of solar balloon cookers? And what other changes can be made to make the cooker even easier to use and less expensive to purchase by at-risk populations?
Yeah, very good question. Couple of improvements we are working on. One is so-called thermal storage with the heat storage there. So not only you cook under sunlight, you can cook after sunset. So have some sort of heat in storage over there. The second enhancement will be to have hybrid with PV. That way, the balloon not only consumes sunlight to produce heat, you can have a sunlight and then convert to electricity, storage of electricity for charging for other applications.
Yeah, so, I know that you're talking about you can actually store this heat in the brick. If we can come up with this next slide, I think this gives some visual on this. We've just about run out of time, Dr. Go. What do you see of the growth of your company over the next 5, 10, 15 years? We got to be quick.
We are going to reach like a couple of million users in 5 years. So hopefully we significantly reduce the need for fuel in the developing country and to reduce the people who suffer from the smoke and other pollutants.
I tell you, that's one of the things we didn't get over, but actually this is a great improvement as far as health, so they don't have the heavy particulate in their lungs. This is Dr. Bengal, who is the CEO, California Sunlight Corporation. Right beside me is Alan Levine as we create the Emerald Planet.
This is firstgov.gov, where we're obsessed with getting you government information.
Brand new student loan applications on the site, baby. This calls for a celebration. Where's your uncle?
So in the end, it was either take the astronaut gig or come work here. What can I say? Duty called.
Dude, that's my cop.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that's Sam's cop.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No. Sam's. No.
Just log on or email us and get what you need.
C, change of address form. That's how it's done. D, driver's license renewal.
E, emailing Social Security information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice, we'll allow it. All right, Ed. What are those?
Government surplus cars for auction.
You posted those online last time.
No, you did.
I'm posting them online this time.
For all your government information, firstgov.gov.
Oh, what have we got here? Sometimes you feel tired. You can't seem to lose those extra pounds off your midsection. And your joints hurt when you take the stairs. Well, you're getting older. But I'm happy to say that there's some simple things we can do to keep you happy and healthy for years to come. We can also lower your risk for some serious diseases the older population is often subject to. Proper nutrition is more important than ever. Your body has changed, you know. Not as many treats. A basic exercise plan, lots of walks and fresh air, and most importantly, come and see me for twice-yearly checkups to help ensure the best possible quality of life. Now, how does that sound? Good boy.
Improve the quality of life for your elderly pet. Schedule twice-yearly checkups that include preventive care and regular lab work. A message from the veterinary members of the American Animal Hospital Association.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello and welcome to the Emerald Planet as we come to you from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we look around the globe on a week-to-week basis in 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the services, the products, and of course the people are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And as we're looking at the growth of 2 billion new people to the planet by 2050, we need to look at all the different technologies, the services, and the processes that will allow the people to have an increased quality of life and at the same time to decrease the amount of CO2, the carbon that's being emitted into the environment, and at the same time to lower the cost of the standard of cost of living for these people. Have someone sitting right beside me that actually is doing a lot of this, and he's going to tell us about why we don't want to have what we see in the backdrop in this photograph. But this is Afzal. Syed is the Verizon Environmental Excellence Award winner. Congratulations on that. That's recent. And he represents Solar Cookers International.
That's right.
And Afzal, welcome to the Emerald Planet.
Thank you, Dr. Hancock. Thank you for inviting me.
Tell us a little bit about Solar Cookers International, and then we want to talk about this scene that we have here right behind us.
Well, Solar Cooker International is a well-known organization around the world, and they are promoting solar cooking, trying to reduce deforestation around the world, help the poor people, have clean energy to cook their food, eliminate the 3 brick fires, which is harmful for the health of their children, as well as cause them tremendous amount of effort to collect the woods, as well as the harmful emission of the CO2s in the environment.
Yeah, and looking at, we have this photograph right here, and this could be in many developing countries around the globe. But this is, I understand, is charcoal, correct?
It is a wood, I believe, is carrying this gentleman on his bike, and it probably took him like 3-4 hours to collect all this wood, or spend some considerable amount of his money.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if he would have been using a solar cooker, he would have been home, just use a cardboard box and a mylar plastic and have their food ready in 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, and it's not only the CO2 gases that are being released into the environment and going out and denuding the forest of the trees and all that, but at the same time, it's actually it's eliminating the establishments of watersheds, but also these are open flames. And so in South America, I know through my Rotary Club, we work on the special burn units across Latin America. There's 50,000 children a year that die from severe burns. 7 million, which is an incredible number, are harmed through these open flames. So looking at the solar cookers, and this again is another image here of women out collecting the wood. And again, this really helps to destroy the environment. But then we come to this. Of course, this is the Cadillac as far as solar cooking. Tell us what we're looking at here.
This is a parabolic cooker, because solar cookers have like 3-4 different kinds. One, the basic form is called the panel cookers, which Solar Cooker International represent or promote more. Then it's a box cooker, which consists of like 2 boxes, insulated, and you can collect sunlight and heat the food. And this is the third form is a parabolic cooker, which you're seeing in this picture. And this is a very effective in higher elevations, in the mountains and snows, and it can go up to like 500 degrees Fahrenheit in heat, and it's like a cooking,
I tell you, this is incredible because you can boil water, you can do just about anything with these.
On it, exactly.
But this really is a Cadillac, and of course, it's very different than what we're looking at right here, where you're actually teaching people, I think, to make their own, correct?
That's what my intentions are, or my efforts are, to teach people or volunteer my time to help people make their own solar cookers, cook it, which is, they call it, which you see in this picture is an open source design, so people can copy it and make their own. It does not cost them anything. You can have an empty box, flatten it out, paste some like aluminum foil if you have available, or mylar plastic, or even I've used chip bags, empty chip bags. If you open them, there's a reflector inside. So you can boil some rice, make a glue out of it, and paste it. So it's basically helping our environment. We're recycling it, sustainability, and all the good things. I mean, everybody's a winner in this thing.
Yeah. Looking at this right here, I know you're talking about the coating, the actual cardboard boxes, and people can make these on their own. How long does it take to, say, cook some rice or to be able to boil water with this type, or can you do that with this type of box solar cooker?
Yeah, this is the picture you're seeing in right now. I made this in Pakistan in a village. That was my intention, to promote solar cookers in a village. So that one, you made some rice and lentils in it. It depends on the intensity of sun. If the sun is very bright and shiny, like in majority of countries, you can cook rice and lentils maybe about 2 hours.
Okay.
You can,
and what about water? About boiling water? Because water is a real issue in most of the developing countries because it's unsanitary in most cases. And so this allows you to boil it, kill all the pathogens in there, and then that reduces the health issues and stomach cancers and all these kinds of things.
Yeah, I'm glad, Dr. Hancock, you asked this important question. What I learned from Solar Cookers International is that we don't need to boil the water up to like 200 degrees centigrade or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Water can be pasteurized at around 65 degrees Celsius, about 150 degrees Fahrenheit. So we are saving energy right there. And especially we have this, I had this notion, oh, you have to boil the water, at least 10 minutes, then it's good for drinking. But no, this is not true.
Now, looking at how long does it take to build the heat to that type of temperature, about 150 degrees plus or minus Fahrenheit?
I would say maybe within half an hour.
Within a half an hour?
Yeah.
And then how long does it need to stay at that temperature in order to kill all the pathogens in the water?
Well, it depends on the amount of water they have. I would say keep about a liter of water in at one time, not to use too much water. And I would say keep it for about 10 minutes just to be on the safe side to maintain that heat.
So what you're doing then is you're just slowly cleaning the water, making it safe for people to drink.
Exactly. I mean,
it's just over a period of time. So if the sun is out, say 5 or 6 hours, then you can go ahead and use it all that time, and then also use it for cooking as well.
Cooking as well. Other thing is, once you've made this, cooked your food in the morning, you can keep it in a retained basket, and the food will stay warm at least for your dinner time.
It's just amazing the kinds of things, Afzal, that you're doing. Looking at this looks like it may be somewhere in Africa. So tell us about this cooker, and were the families able to make these on their own, or is this something that they get it's already prepackaged?
Well, Solar Cooker International is an extensive program. Sometimes they like to promote people to make their own. And I believe this picture is in Kenya. And also they have been promoting in Chad, these solar cookers, especially in the refugee camps. And they help promote, educate people to make their own. I believe this one is made in by themselves in Kenya, or for cooking and for their use.
And now, is this something, as far as these types of solar cookers through the Solar Cookers International, is something that's becoming more and more common and more accepted by the people in these different countries? Because at one time, people still wanted to, even though they had access to these, they still wanted to use charcoal or other types of fossil fuels, because that's something they've been doing for, dozens, hundreds of years, actually.
Yeah, it is an interesting, my observation with limited exposure I had with dealing with other people is everybody have respond to it differently, Some people get amazed, some people have different things like, they want to have lamb roasted on it, But the bottom line is this is for the environment, for the people who cannot afford to have a decent meal every day. We are blessed to have, everything available to us. But there are people in the world who do not even have one meal to eat.
Yeah, and this is something here. And what country is this in? And give us a little scenario of what we're seeing here.
This was in Karachi, outskirts of Karachi, a village called Maijodero.
Karachi is in Pakistan.
Karachi in Pakistan. This village was about 26 kilometers north of Karachi. So I went in 2011 in Pakistan. So I wanted to give this gift to the people to share this technology. So instead of going through the middle organization, I said I want to go myself, build one for them, and donate the two I took to help them use this. So you can see one was on the right side in the picture was built in that same village. And I helped them make the cook it there.
Now, looking at a family like this, of course, these are marginal, at-risk families in many cases. What would they be spending per day in order to, if they had to go out and buy the charcoal or buy the natural gas or LNG, what have you, to do their cooking? What would it cost them as far as their disposable income?
In 2011, one of the person told me they spend about 300 or 400 rupees a day, which is a Pakistani rupee, which is a very huge amount for them to spend.
How many rupees per $1?
At that time, I would say about 300 rupees would be about $3 something.
Yeah, but that's a huge amount for people that are making maybe $40 to $50 in a month. We have run out of time. What do you see for the growth of Solar Cookers International?
Solar Cooker International, they're doing a good job. Their executive director, Julie Green, I'd like to thank her, and Patricia McArdle. She has been very active, and other people. They had a convention this July, and so first thing I ask people to donate to Solar Cookers.
We're going to have to be going out of here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is Syed, the Verizon Environmental Excellence Award winner, Solar Cookers International. And thank you for being with us as we look around the globe to create the Emerald Planet, at the same time to bring the latest, best of the best technologies as we create the Emerald